This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only.
2 days in a row this week, car bombs rocked towns near the capital of Algeria. Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb claimed responsibility for the attacks. Is Algeria turning into another Iraq? And why did bin Laden shift his attention to Algeria? Answers to these questions and more on Link TV's Mosaic Intelligence Report.
2 days in a row this week, car bombs rocked towns near the capital of Algeria, killing 60 members of the security forces, police recruits, and Canadian workers. The North African wing of al-Qaeda terror network, known until last year as the Salafist Group for Preaching and Combat, has claimed responsibility for the recent attacks. The group has also claimed several earlier attacks, including the twin suicide bombings of United Nations offices and a court building in the Algerian capital last December. This is Baghdad and not Algiers, bemoaned a stunned witness on Canal Algeria, the Algerian television network. The booby-trapped cars, the suicide attacks, the method and the types of explosives used are reminiscent of insurgency attacks during its peak in Iraq. Since the Anbar awakening and the intensified hunt for al-Qaeda members in Iraq, hundreds of jihadis have fled the country to Yemen, Afghanistan and Pakistan. However, many returned to Algeria and Mauritania, bringing with them years of experience in combat and bomb making. Terrorism in Algeria has risen to new heights. Suicide attacks and car bombs are now the weapons of choice.
The perpetrators are terrorist gangs. Every day we are containing the situation more and more. We are determined to eliminate these terrorists. This may require some time, but we will, without a doubt, eliminate them.
Although Algeria has improved its counter-terrorism strategy since the 1990s, Algerian authorities have been struggling to find an answer to this new breed of global jihadis, and they are running out of time, which is causing panic in France and other EU countries.
Terrorism hit France just like it hit Algeria. Today, terrorism is a transnational phenomenon that continues to threaten all countries of the world, and therefore, the fight against it should start on a bilateral level and expand to a global level.
Algeria is one of the major oil and gas producing countries in Africa. Last year, Italy and Algeria agreed to construct a 900-kilometer pipeline to take Algerian gas to Sardinia, then onto the Italian mainland. France has also signed a major gas deal with Algeria to wean itself from its dependency on Russian gas, as well as an agreement on civil nuclear cooperation. These latest attacks by the al-Qaeda franchise are aimed at disrupting the gas flow into Europe and scaring foreign investors. Meanwhile, in December, French officials arrested 8 men from Paris suburbs and seized computers, global positioning equipment, cell phones, weapons-making machinery, and 20,000 euros. Investigators said they believe that the men, both French Algerians and Algerian passport holders, were members of the al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, known by its initials as AQIM. Has bin Laden chosen Algeria as his launching pad to attack Europe? The answer is yes, and we can expect more attacks in Algeria and perhaps in Europe before the end of the year. I have been monitoring several jihadi sites for the past several years, and recruitment calls have recently shifted from Afghanistan and Iraq to Algeria. This is no coincidence. In 2007, the number 2 man in al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri, urged his followers in al-Maghreb to target France, Spain, and Algeria. I'm Jamal Dajani for the Mosaic Intelligence Report. To learn more about this program or to share your thoughts, visit us at linktv.org/mosaic.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now!, here to ask you for support for Mosaic, world news from the Middle East. You know, in media news, a new study shows that corporate news coverage of the Iraq War has dropped sharply in the last 4 months. According to the Project for Excellence in Journalism, the Iraq War accounted for just 15% of news coverage, 19% of the network evening newscasts. We need more coverage of the Middle East, not less. We are talking right now about living in a time of war, and it is up to us in a democratic society to decide what to do about that. Mosaic provides information from the Middle East, from countries in the Middle East, from a Middle Eastern perspective. It is invaluable. And right now they need $200,000 to continue their work, to continue their coverage, to bring you their fall lineup of this essential program. The number to call to make your pledge is 866-485-8848. That's 866-485-8848. You can also pledge online at linktv.org. Please pledge as much as you can. Information is power. When you have information, you are empowered to do something about it. That's what Mosaic provides. Again, they're trying to raise $200,000. In order to do this, you can be a small or large part of that. Pledge 25, pledge 50, pledge 200, pledge 500. Mosaic needs you. If you've needed Mosaic for information, now they're asking you to help them reach their goal. That number again is 866-485-8848. That's 866-485-8848. Make your pledge, make it now. You can also pledge online at linktv.org. That number is the lifeline for Mosaic. 866-485-8848. Make the call that makes the difference. This is viewer-sponsored media. You are the engine of this program. Mosaic provides a unique perspective from many different countries in the Middle East. Please give your support to independent media. 866-485-8848. And thanks so much.
This program was brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. television network devoted to global and national news, with uncompromising documentaries and diverse cultural programs which connect you to the world.